to the top, and it is Viktor. He can be mercurial. He's a curious sort, and he's very, very endearing in a lot of ways because of that. One is curiosity, and then he finds himself in these places where it seems like you've gone down a hole and you're pouring the dirt over you, and it's getting darker in here. And last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before, after missing the cut at the U.S. Open, it was pointed out yesterday by Ryan Lavner, he hit 312 golf balls on the range on Saturday. He was not playing, and he was trying to find it. So by winning yesterday, he didn't find all the answers, but he talked about this particular thing, this maddening, maniacal pursuit of better.
I just proved a lot to myself that I've got the game now, and I've really made some big strides. And just the way I've been driven it all week, that's been kind of one of the weaknesses this year. And this week I drove it amazing and did a lot of good stuff the whole week. So I just want to continue that trend, whether I win or lose, whatever. I just want to play good golf and have fun out here again. And that's one of those things that's been very difficult, especially when you've been going through some struggles like I have. Some of the shots that I've seen are just like, whoa, how is that even possible? Like, I've never seen some of those shots before. And then I've had moments where, okay, I think I'm onto something that feels good, and then that one big miss comes back again. So even if you're playing good golf, it's still kind of in the back of your mind a little bit. Ooh, are we over it? Are we good? And it's you have a little bit of doubt still in there, even though you're hitting good shots. And I don't know if there's like this one point where you go, oh, I got it now. It just kind of, those big misses stop happening, and then you just expect to see the ball going straight, kind of like what happened this week. Because even U.S. Open last week, I thought I drove it a lot better, but I had one big miss on the 12th hole out there, and the left to right wind that went OB. So I had one bad shot that cost me 2 shots for the tournament, and I missed a cut by shot.
If you think about it, 28 years of age to already have 8 wins on the PGA Tour, that's wildly impressive. But yet he has these ebbs. And look, whether it's going through instructors and people who are trying to guide you in the right directions for different facets of your game, this particular season alone is a reflection of those ebbs. He had 2 top 10s coming into this week. And those 2 top 10s, first event of the year. And then he waits until the beginning of June to get another one. But he is, as I said, he's very endearing because he has, he has a resting face that is the anti of a lot of things that when we rest our faces, they kind of get into these moments of anguish. No, he doesn't. He has a pleasant way about him, but he also has a drive and a pursuit. And to get paired because of his performance over the first couple of days with Scottie Scheffler, not only Saturday, but then again on a championship Sunday. And he didn't play well on the opening 9, which particularly at that event could eliminate you from possibly winning. But he hung around, and after the delay, he came back out and made those crucial birdies on 14 and 15. And he got himself into that playoff. And then he answered to Scottie. He had the honor on the tee in that first playoff hole and did what he did all 4 days, split the fairway. And then Scheffler did something he hadn't done at all 4 days, which was hit the fairway. And then Scottie played first and hit it to 6 feet. And Viktor answered. And then he putted first and made, and Scottie missed. That was, I wanted more. We all wanted more. That was excellent, superior performance. I believe that the way that athletes, elite athletes, whatever sport, are engineered for the long haul. But in those moments of separation, it's the artist that gets them to the most elusive places. And in golf, that space is holding that trophy. And for Viktor Hovland, he is engineering himself for the everyday grind, that pursuit, that process. And this is not necessarily to name drop it, but it's to share that all elite athletes have this. Most of them are in pursuits that are fluid motion. Think about Steph Curry and think about what he does well before a game begins. His process of getting his body to where the release of that basketball, and as Mr. Keating said to Todd, close your eyes, close them, and just visualize that basketball leaving Steph's hand. It's artistry. It's Baryshnikov. Many years ago, this was when he was building what was arguably the greatest athletic resume in American sports history, Tom Brady. In Ireland, of all places, we were playing an event with our dads, and then subsequently, we played some rounds of golf together. And I'll never forget playing with him a round of golf. This was him coming out of hibernation after losing to the Giants in that first of 2 Super Bowl losses, which I cherish myself. He doesn't. And we were walking down the 16th fairway of a hole we were on, and after trying to convince us that Eli should have thrown 6 interceptions on that final drive, which included the Tyree catch, you remember, you don't have to close your eyes for that, he started to explain throwing a football. And he actually did it recently on a podcast with Shaquille O'Neal, and how, in particular, how one player frustrated him a little bit. Ben Watson, very athletic tight end, because Ben wouldn't get his hands out away from his body. And because his hands were 6 inches closer to his body, think about that 6 inches with the humanity of football players flying across the field and windows opening and closing. And he's trying to throw guys open. So when they catch it, they're in motion. And if they have their hands extended, they can continue in motion. And he's talking about the delivery of a football. And oh, by the way, that guy, Tom Brady, employed a guy named Tom House, who pitched at the major league level on mechanics and the pursuit of throwing a football perfectly, which again is unattainable, but the repetition of doing it again and again and again, so that the feels, which you hear about with golfers all the time, become so intrinsic in those moments, like Viktor Hovland was in yesterday. The artist can deliver. Tom House, by the way, a little footnote, little trivia question. Who caught the ball that Hank Aaron hit into the bullpen, 7:15 in Atlanta? Tom House. He was a reliever for the Atlanta Braves at the time. Brady, Steph Curry, Messi right now. That pursuit, that artistry. Yes, engineer yourself to do it every day. But in the moments of separation, let the mind and the body do what it can do. It's an amazing thing to watch. And I don't know if Viktor Hovland, the mercurial one that he is, the curious sort that listens to podcasts about extraterrestrials and UFOs. And I love that about him. How sustainable this is, don't know. But in the moment, it's a beautiful thing to watch.